Johnny D, how's it going with you?
Pretty good. Pretty cold here. Ready
To
to fly out tomorrow.
getting ready for a little tour, Nova Scotia.
Actually, it's not. Well, it's just a 5-day run. We're going to do 2 shows in Nova Scotia, then 1 show in Regina. Then I'll be home like next Tuesday, and I can already see they're already booking a bunch of dates for the summer.
How many times would you say Honeymoon Suite does in a year nowadays?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I don't count them, but stay pretty busy. We're lucky to be this busy, but for, we just finished off New Year's in Edmonton, right?
Right.
And then January is always kind of slow. Now February is kind of slow, but we start picking up as the weather gets better, But we keep going. They're all sparse dates. We fly to them all, which is really, really cool. Rockstar-ish anyway, but I'd rather fly than, be on a tour bus.
Instead of, compared to the 1980s, to now is like probably easier to get
bus,
to your show.
Tour bus. They suck. There's like, you got 10 people on it, One guy gets sick, the whole deal, everybody else gets sick. I'm not into that. I'd rather fly, do the shows that we need to do, and then get back home. For
set list, for these shows, how do you go into doing the set list? Because you guys got a big catalog.
Well, first of all, with 7 or 8 records, and all the hits, we're going to play them all, right? We only really get about 2 hours on stage. Most times I'll call something out. If somebody wants to hear something that we normally don't play, we'll play it. So the set list mostly consists of each record. Each record had at least 3 or 4 hit singles on it. Mm-hmm. So, by the time we get through all them, the time flies.
Is there songs you get tired of doing after all these years, or you enjoying them all now?
The bands make it great. If at this point, if I got tired of them, I wouldn't be out there going to sing them still. Like I say, we're just lucky that we can get out there, still play, and still have people come out after all these years.
Also, after all these years, your songs are still played on, Canadian radio airwaves.
Jeez, that is like too wild. It's a blessing, isn't it?
And now with the famous Sirius Radio, satellite, you're even on that.
Yeah, that's really funny. I don't not really set up for that satellite thing here where I live. I live in like in a little cottage just near a lake. But I've done like interviews and stuff for Sirius Radio or Sirius. It's not radio. It's like it's a different format, right?
Sirius satellite, yeah.
But that's great that you're telling me that you're hearing it on there. That's great.
Yeah, we hear some Honeymoon Suite, and it's incredible to hear this on satellite radio or whatever we call it today.
Satellite radio, yeah. That's wild. Well, then it wasn't a waste of time, now, was it? Because a lot of times I have to go into Toronto, and I've done like a bunch of different interviews for satellite radio, and at least they're being used, and it's getting out there,
Clifton Hill, you guys are still promoting this album?
We'll do a couple songs off it when we play live. Clifton Hill was just, how can I say this? It was just, we started up with Tom Tremuth, who produced the first album.
Mm-hmm.
And we started working with him again, and we just wanted to make a record that was like as raw as it possibly could be. Clifton Hill is like a famous street here in Niagara Falls. I don't know if you know it or not.
No.
But it's like full circle sort of thing, going all the way around from from back then to now.
So you'd say like the recording session was, going back to the roots of Honeymoon Suite also.
Yeah, exactly. Not spending like 3 or 4 months in the studio. We had all the songs written, and it was just try to get it to as raw form as we possibly could, like we did the first record.
To this day, you still write songs, on your spare time?
Oh, definitely. Derry and I are just going back and forth right now, Well, Derry's writing on his own. I'm writing on my own. And then when it comes time that we sit down together and put our ideas on the table, see if we've got enough for another record or not, see if it's worth doing. And if it is, you definitely do another record.
In the archives of Honeymoon Suite, is there songs we've never heard?
Yes. There's demos, lots of demos that never got to the records. I don't know if you ever will hear them, but sometimes those are the best songs. They get put aside, but sometimes I've resurrected many a song that we've done as demo and brought it up to Derry again, and we've recorded it. It got on records. So nothing is lost, really, basically.
As long as you guys get them, you know, and hopefully someday you put them into the daylight.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They're all recorded, right? So nothing gets wasted.
So what do you do in your spare time these days when you're not playing?
These days, rebuilding a house, and that's about it. And just trying to get through this winter. It's pretty cold here. Like I said, I live close to a lake, and it's really, really windy. Kind of like I don't know what it's like in Nova Scotia right now.
Windy.
But, yes, and it's really windy here too, and really, really cold. It's like an Arctic air, and you can't really go outside and do much. That's what I do on spare time. But you know, when do I have spare time? You know,
Probably never.
not really a lot of it.
Well, it's great to see that, you know, Honeymoon Suite is still playing and coming to Nova Scotia.
Yes.
That is great, great, great.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I say, we're lucky.
Well, I'm glad you took the time to do this little interview, and you guys have a great
Thanks,
trip.
Jason. I'm glad that you picked up. You know, it's always going to be a pleasure to come to that part of Canada. You know, and the people are great there. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes up. It'd be great to get back out there in the summertime. And I know you guys have a lot of festivals and stuff, outdoor stuff. You never know. Hoping to get back out in the summer. It's always great. But it's still good in the winter, too.
Well, it's great all year round, I guess.
Yes, there you go.
All right, Johnny, you have a great week.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jason.
All right.
Take care.